Hi, I'm Steve Hoodie. Welcome to the Points TV for Thursday, 23rd of September. I'm here with my friend Lockie.
G'day, guys. Hey, Steve.
How you going, Lockie?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Cool. We've got a lot to cover this week, so we'll get kicked off.
Oh, so much happening. Just at the end of a week. I feel like there's so much news.
Yeah, there's lots of news. And as always, there's so many people that know about me, but they don't know what I do. So as you might see that I'm always in the papers, in the TV, radio, magazines, but what you might not know is like we offer two services. One is points advisory, credit card advisory. So we show small, medium-sized companies which is the best credit card to use, how to earn maximum points and calculate the cost per value. And the second one is we do flight bookings, points flight bookings, international and business class. That second part's on hold at the moment, but with all the travel news that we're going to talk about, I think that could kick off again.
Yeah, so good. Yes, you've been getting a lot of inquiries about that.
Yeah. I think travel's on everyone's minds. Last weekend, definitely everyone I spoke to was thinking about travel, and there's a lot of good reasons. And I think the very first one that I saw in the news yesterday on Wednesday was that international border to reopen by Christmas at the latest. That's a massive statement.
Woohoo! Yeah,
Minister.
That is fantastic. And we could have some little things we put in our passport, I think they're talking about a QR code is what I saw the Australian just talk about today. Potentially something you stick in your passport or it's linked to an app. And basically, is that somehow linked to your passport and just shows that you've been vaccinated, and you can start traveling around the place. So it's going to be exciting.
This has been such a long time coming, and obviously, I think the first people out of the box weren't necessarily for holiday, but you'd be people visiting their families, people who've been separated, business people that need to go and see other people. So initially there'll be a massive rush. I guess linked to the fact that we can reopen by Christmas is this home quarantine trials. So New South Wales is just kicking off some trials in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I saw Queensland talking about it as well, which is really good. I mean, this has a real personal effect. Even myself, I've got an uncle coming in overseas, so for him to home quarantine would be amazing. Yeah. And so there's so many people that want to come back by Christmas. So there would be nothing worse than just coming home, being stuck in a hotel over Christmas on your own. When you're here, you're so close to your family, but you're down the road in the hotel. So home quarantine will be fantastic.
And not just sort of stuck in the hotel, it's because there's all these quarantine caps that there's actually not enough space for everyone. So the New South Wales trial it's a 7-day home quarantine rather than a 14-day in a hotel. It's only for fully vaxxed travellers coming in. But fully vaxxed with a vaccine has been recognised by the TGA. So that's important, because if you got vaccinated in one of the other countries, so recognised vaccine, that's a problem. Okay. And they're going to select about 30 people per week over a 4-week period. So fingers crossed they iron out all the bugs out there.
Iron out all the kinks and open it up for everyone. Well, there's nothing like sitting on your own couch, eating your own home-cooked food and eating hotel food and minibar. There's nothing like quite being at home. Yeah.
And cost-wise too, like hotel quarantine is about $3,000 or so. So expensive if you have expensive for yourself and expensive for family of 4, for example, 12 grand. It's very cost prohibitive.
A big cost. Plus, you can catch up on all your yard work at home. You can mow the backyard and
that's true.
Finally clean the house.
The house looking good.
Yeah.
In other news, the US dropping travel bans and starting from early November, which I guess is good timing for us, because if we can start traveling by Christmas, then US is be fully open.
Awesome. And no quarantine. That's awesome.
Yeah, no quarantine. It still requires you to be fully vaccinated. And the rules are you have to have a COVID-19 test 3 days before departure. So that's still something to be careful of, because even though you're vaccinated, you can still get COVID. And if you happen to get it randomly 3 days before departure, you can't go to US.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Mm.
And I think that's probably very similar for any other place that requires you to have a COVID test.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the travel component. But getting ready to travel, and obviously there has been a lot of anxiety from people around, status credits because they're not flying, they're not getting the status credits. So both Virgin and Qantas has offered a whole bunch of extensions. So I want to talk about Virgin first. So Virgin have extended their Velocity frequent flyer status. So obviously, if you're silver, gold, or platinum, it'll be extended. So what I want to share with you is how it works. It's not super easy, but sort of like roughly the whole idea is that everyone would get extended to at least February 2023. And some people might get even sort of extended after that. So everyone would have got an email. If you're a Virgin member already, you would have got an email. And on that email, it would have told you exactly what your date is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That makes it nice and easy.
So I'm platinum extended to 2023.
2023. Nice. That's a lot of time at the lounge.
And I only got my platinum status from transferring American Express points to Velocity.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you're using points to fly business, you get the lounge, you get the perks anyway. So
yeah,
this will put a lot of people's mind at ease. So this makes more sense now that they put this in this graph. But obviously, yeah, check your email. That's probably the easiest way to make sure.
Yeah, so that's the Velocity status extension. Interestingly, Velocity is also offering status credits if you do a reward seat. So generally speaking,
nice.
If you book a reward point seat, there are no status credits that come with that. So Virgin's doing it for the first time for them, but only for flights between October 21 and March 22, the 6-month period.
Pretty good. People would earn a lot of Velocity points that they also may want to use for some flights, but still keep their status ticking along and growing. So that's awesome. Does Qantas done? What is Qantas up to?
Well, Qantas extended status, but before we go over there, it's interesting why Virgin's giving status credits for reward flights when if you already got status, you've already been extended to 2023. So why would you need more status credits? So that's I don't get it. Why?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's a bit of a catch-22 because if you already got it for a couple of years ahead, it's really it's all about the 12-month countdown to keep building status credits. So I guess I don't want everyone sitting back too easy. Keep building the status credits. But you're right, it doesn't make any sense if you've got it extended.
Yeah,
I guess you have to just check the system, make sure is there still an amount that you have to keep up with in the next 12 months to keep that extension going, or does it only apply to the last 12 months of your status extension? The devil is in the detail.
That's why I found it was a bit tricky because if most people have been extended to at least March 2023, then you don't really care what your status credit is until March 2022, 12 months before. So one for another discussion. Qantas have previously extended their status. So I just wanted to bring it in here so you know what it is. But basically a 12-month extension if your status expiring before June 2022.
Yeah.
So sort of similar to Virgin.
And they're extending their membership as well. That's good.
Yeah, Qantas Club. So for people who pay for the Qantas Club membership, it makes sense because everything's been closed, so they've extended that for 7 months. Some other people extending. So Hilton, I also got an email from Hilton that they're extending their status to end of March 2023, which is that's 2023. When you hear about 2023, that's huge. It's just 2021 now.
It is a way. Well, I guess you're thinking all of next year. You can think about making a holiday plans with Hilton. So it does give you that full breadth of time to really think and plan what that holiday is going to be. So yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah. So it gives you at least a whole year of using these statuses, which then entices you to, okay, now I'm going to use them I know what this is all about. Therefore, you have to strive to keep them, and the playing field starts again.
And I heard that they're extending their points as well. I think it was till December of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they extended all their points to
Yeah.
December 2022.
Yeah. So it's points and the status extended. Fantastic.
Yeah. So the beauty is that if you got your points extended to December 2022, and then you can then book for 12 months in the future, that means that all your bookings, you'll be able to have your status use for them.
Like all your upgrades and other perks. Yeah,
breakfasts and stuff.
This is the ultimate free pass. Once in 100 years, with all these status extended. We've always paid out the status a little bit cheeky, rat race and keeping up with it. But this is just like a free pass all round across all the different brands. So
well, it's not. People don't have to chase it.
It's the first time you don't have to chase. You just sit back and let it come. So good time to make use. If you don't make use of these status extensions, what are you doing?
True. So hopefully encourage people to travel because they're not going back to completely base level. Mr. or Mrs. Unknown. Overseas, British Airways have also extended their executive club. So basically, everyone extending, you can't not extend. Otherwise, people will just take the business elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, it seems like next year is the year to book a trip. I think it was the RBA or Treasury or someone put out a stat. There's just billions of dollars sitting in savings accounts waiting to be spent. So next year's a good time to book a trip.
I include this slide here. It's a little bit complicated. Really just to demonstrate that actually the Qantas status extension, you have to book a flight. So the version one was just gifted to you. The Qantas one, you have to book a flight. And it all comes down to when your status ends. So I'll say people should go on the Qantas website and look it up.
Check this out.
Because it's a bit hard to explain. This will take 15 minutes to explain by itself.
Now, is it any kind of flight, domestic or international?
Domestic, international, Jetstar or Qantas.
That's pretty easy. Yeah.
Actually, the interesting thing is that you just got to book it, but if they cancel it, you still get counted.
Oh, great. So, not complicated at all. This looks real simple.
Yesterday, I posted a LinkedIn question, and there's something that came to me, just when you go to Stephen Thought Bubble. I thought, well, like recently in the accounts, Qantas said that there was $3 billion of sort of like frequent flyer points liability on their balance sheet. I was thinking, well, everyone keeps thinking about Qantas needs to get rid of this liability, which is a non-cash liability. But what if you just allow people to redeem the frequent flyer points for Qantas shares? I thought that's quite interesting.
Qantas shares, okay.
So, for example, like right now, if you get double jabbed, you can get 1,000 Qantas points. So rather than those, if you can turn 1,100 Qantas points into one Qantas share, which is basically the Qantas share price at the moment is $5.50. And if you take the redemption value of points in the gift card, which is 0.5%, so it works out to be 1,100 Qantas points per share.
1,100 Qantas points per share. And 62% of that people voted yes. Over 200 people voted
more.
And over half actually would take a share. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would take a share.
I hope you did take more than one share.
Well, the question is then what do you do with that share? So, would people hold it and kind of speculate because it felt like a free gift almost? Or
it's like an investment, basically, because at the moment, I think of Qantas share prices towards a very low. If travel is going to resume in a big way, you think the share price will increase.
Interesting. Still, a third said we'll keep them to fly. So,
5% that said I have no idea what to do.
We come across those people, and fair enough. It can be complicated. There's so many different ways to use your points. And there's so many points right now. There's so many learning points. 3 million.
What I thought was best about this idea was that if you were a shareholder, I think it's even more powerful than if you had points, because a shareholder starts thinking about, well, how can I help this company make more money in order for me to make more money? So this is a free tip for Qantas. Maybe make them $1 billion or something.
I hope they're watching. That's great. Keep putting out the LinkedIn polls.
I got the tip of the week.
Yeah.
So the tip of the week is know how many points you need to fly. Because it's like going to a shop. If you don't know how much the apple costs, how do you know how many can you afford? Well, I guess you could afford any. Apples are cheap. But the same idea, if you went to a car dealership, you don't know how much that car costs. How do you know what you need? So basically, I think this is the most common question. People don't know how many points. So the way to find out is you got to go onto the airline's website, onto the points calculator, and work it out. So basically, you just Google, whichever airline, say Singapore Airlines calculator, you take it to this screen.
Just classic reward calculator.
Yep. Because so many people, they don't know how many points it should be. So for example, so common, people say, oh, I looked up a Qantas flight to London and it wants 500,000 points, which is clearly wrong because those are wrong numbers. So the only way to know is to plug it in here and it'll tell you how many points. So that was Singapore, Emirates has got their own. Basically, every airline has their own. Qantas have their own. So for example,
Sydney, Hong Kong, London, one way, 159,000.
Yep, that's how much you should be paying, not 400,000 points or something. So everyone's got one. And then we
have one.
We've designed one. That collates all those airlines into one place. So therefore you can pick the destination and it'll tell you which airline charges what points. Basically doing all the work for you.
And we have domestic in there too now. So international and domestic. You can see how many points you need across all the main popular cities. Yeah,
so everyone just go to iflyflat.com.au/calculators and you have the link and check out. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Me and Lockie design it, so if there's changes, we can probably do it in 15 seconds.
It's a great tool, make available of it and get ready for 2022. Good conversation when you over Christmas with the family, let's go here, and you can go, all right, got 1 million points, quickly jump on the calculator. Got 4 people divided by 4, have they got enough points? Let's go.
That's actually a really good use case. So you can actually save this onto your screen. So it's not an app, so it's a web app. The way you save it is you just
add it to your home screen.
Add to home screen, and there's an icon. You can access to it anytime.
Yeah, it's a great tool, free forever. It's there to use.
Yeah, we'll update it when things change. And then that's it. That's it for the week.
Well, it's good to chat, and there's so much happening in travel, so it's exciting. Getting ready for next year, and fingers crossed that the home quarantine trial goes well. Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, Lockie. Thanks for another week. Yeah, good to chat. Catch you, folks. See you guys next time. See ya.